This is part 3 of the daily water report. This part will discuss how to save and send Wildcat Ridge's water report and how to save and send Crystal the rest of our water report. If you haven't watched the first 2 videos, you need to go and look at those first before watching this. Once we have this water report to this level of completion, as you can see it's all filled out and complete and there's no issues with it, then we need to separate out Wildcat's section. So essentially we need to click here on 316 where the Wildcat Ridge meter says, and then select all the way down. I left clicked on 316 and dragged while left clicking all the way down to meter 45. Click cut. Come up here and click this circle here. You want to create a new document. Double click on that and right click on A1 and paste. That way you have Wildcat Ridges out of ours and into a new document. At this point you need to save it. So I click save up there in the upper left hand corner. Again, change this to an Excel 97 2003 workbook. Scroll down until you get to the meter readings. Double click on the last day, not today's, but the last days. And I will usually, in order to save time, I'll click on left click there, come down here, double click, and type in capital WC space. This will save it as Wildcat Ridge water meter report, and as you can see, I have several of those here. And click on save. At this point, you can click on send email. Click OK. And there's 3 people over at Wildcat Ridge that received this. I don't know who that is. JB, John Burns, is the guy who's in charge of the water system over there. So if you ever need to talk to somebody, he's the one. And also this guy. This will change periodically over the years. I've dealt with 2 people in the 8 years that I've been there. I come up here and just click on the signature so that they know it's from me. And click on send. During this, if there's any big issues that you've noticed, I would also type in what that is. Click on send, and that Wildcat Ridge is gone. The rest of this report is we need to figure out what usage we have had. So this is just in, actually you can close out Wildcat Ridge. Come over to ours, click on this little arrow up in the top left corner. Right click and click copy. Just click this twice. And come down here to this tab and add another one. Again, right click up here in A1 and click on paste. Now this part we're trying to figure out how much water usage by volume of water. I'll left click on E. Come over here to sort and filter and sort largest to smallest. Click sort. Here we get a good idea of who's using too much water. In order to save this for future reference, these higher usage, I will drag over here and select any that are higher than 350 gallons a day, which is about the average amount that you're allowed. Click Control on your keyboard, CTRL. Click here again, and come over here and do this section. Right click, click on copy. On the desktop, I have a water log, which is what I kept, as you can see down here, since 2010. This is how I keep track of who's been using 350 gallons or more. And we'll come down to the date that we did the water report. Right click, and click on paste. And that'll populate this area. And in order to get these dates correct, I'll come down here on the date the water meter report was done. Click, left click, and drag down here to the bottom of the last person. Right click and click insert. And you want to shift cells down, click OK. And that gives you this space that you need. I'll then come in here and select the ones that are Colisegia Club, just so I can see them right off the top that those are important. These people will be using water on a higher usage basis, especially sometimes the clubhouse. You can see here clubhouse low. Oftentimes the Fairway Cafe will, as I said, because they're cleaning cards. Come over here and left click and drag and select all of those. Just make it a different color. This helps me keep track of the days as well. And I'm just cycling through I'm cycling through these basic colors that you can see, and then I pick one of these. And once I hit this point, I'll actually come back and start changing the colors again. As you can see. That way, visually, you can quickly see, pull out those waters that were too high. When I get to this point, I look at this and say, well, J.D. Ingram, I might need to give him a call. It's less than 1,000 gallons. Usually I'm thinking, well, we'll give him another day and just kind of see. Actually, I come up here and compare the last time to this day, and I can see that Dunwoody is not doubling up. Knight is not here, so I click OK here. Parrish, again, is not here. Do the same. Boknight is okay now. Lyles is okay. And note on Boknight, he has an irrigation system up there, and so he's often over. But he also has all of that 10 acres up there, so we give him 2 allotments per day. So it's usually 700 gallons that he can use. And he's actually not part of the HOA. He's not held accountable by us, but he's pretty good about us talking to him and saying, hey, you're using too much water, and he'll adjust it likewise. Once that's done, I'm not going to do anything about Wildcat. Ingram wasn't there that day, so I'm assuming that one day they might have irrigated or something. I'm going to wait till the next day to see what kind of water usage they have. And the rest I'll just keep an eye on, but they weren't here, so I'm not terribly worried about them here. Come back over to the report. Then I click Save. I'll come over here and I'll send this to Crystal. Put my signature in and send that off. And then I'll close out of all these. Always click Yes. And you definitely want to save these. That's it for this tutorial. The next tutorial will be how to load the USB card so that Stephen can use it again for reading meters.